Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 and the pitfuturestrading.com. Coming to you this Friday morning, March 20th. We're looking at the last 4 days of the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And just like when we looked at the daily chart yesterday, so the daily chart, when you look at it, right, the 4-day, we're one time framing down, 4 days. We look at the daily chart, it's like an x-ray. You look at the market profile, it's more like an MRI as you look deeper into the market, okay? Number two, I've talked about this in the past. I like to liken what goes on in the market as a war zone, a battle between buyers and sellers, and taking a piece of real estate. Well, today should be really fun and really interesting to see who wins this entire piece of real estate. So that'll be a very interesting thing to watch. Now, right off the bat, yesterday we had a chance for a price spike, right? Ease high. Whenever we make a new high or low in J, K, or L, we made it in K, if you close above the previous high, that's a price spike. Now, we didn't close above it, so it was negated, but it is something to keep in mind. When you make a new high or low in M period on a day, that's a price probe because the market is probing and we don't know if it's going to be accepted until the next day. Now, right now, we're trading in balance, in value. Another thing, our POC, which was going to be an upside destination, if we open above it, will be a downside. Many people have said, well, why doesn't that happen with an afternoon rally high or pullback low? If you open below an afternoon pullback low, well, then it's negated, right? It didn't serve its purpose. But with the POC, that's where people like to trade, right? That was where people wanted to do business, buyers and sellers. So if you open above it, I can't just negate it because odds are there's a good chance you'll come back and visit it at some point. That's where buyers and sellers were happy to do business. Okay, now, we had an inside day in the SPY yesterday. I know the ES didn't, but we did. And when you come out of an inside day, whether it's to the upside or downside, you go with that trade. And just as importantly, you monitor it for continuation or lack of. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. We did have a P shape yesterday, which was short covering, right? So it's important for the buyers, if they want to take out yesterday's high, to get something going, maybe even a trend day up to show there's real buying in this market and not just shorts covering. If you take out yesterday's high, the good chance the 18th high is going to go, right? You start taking over this hill as the buyers, and then you go higher, and then you have the POC, and then the high from the 17th, and you advance, you keep advancing. That's what they need to do. So let's go over destinations and a game plan. So right now on the upsides, we're trading at 243.57. I'm going to use the POC as a downside destination. Even though there's still an hour to go, it could still be an upside one, but right now I'm going to use it to the downside. So our first destination on the upside will be yesterday's high of 247.38. Now, it might be a little interesting in an ease high of 246.37, right? That's where buyers were originally when K spiked above it, but they weren't there after that. Then we have the 18th high of 248.37. Above that, we'll have today's pre-market high of 250.08. Then we have 10 wide from the 17th right here at 250.34. Then we have the daily high from that day, 256.17. Daily high from the 16th of 256.90. Then we go to 11 wide at 257.10 for March 13th. Now that's the 4-day, right? If you come out of yesterday's high, it becomes a 4-day balance, and that's the main goal, is to take out the high from the 16th. If you do that, again, there's a void up to 271.08. But obviously, it's baby steps. First step is we have to take out yesterday's high before we even start thinking about everything else we just spoke about. For the downside, I'll use yesterday's POC of 242.38 as our first downside destination. Then we have, well, actually, 242.80 right now. is my pre-market low. So that'll be your first downside. 242.80, then 242.38. Then we have yesterday's afternoon pullback low and G period of 238.82. Yesterday's low of 232.22. And right now, which would be a weekly low, 228.02 from the 18th if it is to hold. 2 days now, we've taken out December of 18's lows. Both days have snapped back into it. I wouldn't want to test it a third time today, to be honest with you. Okay, what's the game plan? Opening in balance in value. Right now we're caught between the POC and even E's high, or again, M's range. M's ranges have been so large lately that you have your own little battle within that. There is no trade right here. If we're to get up to around M's high or E's high, you can certainly take a put play. If you get accepted above E, I'd be out of that trade because then the odds of coming out of the inside day have increased dramatically. If you're to trade down the POC, you can certainly take a call play. But if the POC doesn't hold, then odds are you're going to trade down to M's low. And right now, that's $2 lower from the POC. So that's something, again, in these markets with the ranges we're having, you have to expand your heat. You just have to. That's why I've been playing with the ETF. It's a lot easier to be long 100 to 200 shares here at the POC. It goes down to M's low. I'm only out $400. And then I could add if I want. As opposed to if I take an option play here, even if it's 10 contracts, just goes down another $2, I'm out minimum of $1,000. So you have to change your trading style a bit as far as what you want to be doing, like I do with the ETF, and you have to expand your heat zone. You just have to if you're going to make any money in this type of environment. So if you want to buy it at the POC, you can. Now you decide where your out is. Is it M's low? Is it the afternoon pullback low where you even add more on? And then if you get below that and yesterday's open, and now you're out of the trade because things have changed dramatically. That's all for you to decide. And same thing up here. You want to take a short play at M or E, that's fine. My out would be if we get accepted above yesterday's high. So those are two early plays for today. And then let's go to the charts. So I'm just going to show you the weekly and daily today. The insight, it shows you how powerful these things are, even in markets that are volatile, right? Now, inside week is more powerful than inside day because that's the intermediate term getting involved. Well, since this inside week, right, 290.23, we came out of it to the downside. We traded as low as 228. $62. Now, is that usual? Is that normal? Of course not. But it shows you how powerful these things are, just like the outside month down we had. And then on the daily, just like you saw, right? You saw the MRI. Well, here's the X-ray. We're still one time framing down 4 days, inside day. Come out of it to the upside. You're going to probably take out 2 daily highs. And then the next level are these 2 daily highs, which are fairly close together. If we come out of it to the downside, then this week's low will certainly be in the crosshairs, but more importantly, you'd be back down again below the December of 18's lows. Might take a while to decide, right? You might not come out of it right away. But if you do, I will go with it. If we come out of it to the upside, I will be long. If we come out of it to the downside, I will be short, besides those other trades I had just given you. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.